In the meantime, in Highland Park, we were building a life. We were active at Beth El Synagogue. We became very good friends with Rabbi Dresner. My children were in Hebrew school. Debbie until she was 15, and Mark beyond bar mitzvah, because they were very loyal up until the time they started dating. And Mark wanted to be on the basketball team. But at least we kept them in the fold that long. One of the most interesting things that happened to me through my congregation association was Rabbi Dresner was a very good friend of Elie Wiesel's. They had both been protégés at the Jewish Theological Institute of Professor Abraham Joshua Heschel. Elie Wiesel, being loyal to Rabbi Dresner, came once a year to Highland Park to be a scholar in residence. He stayed for the weekend. We had Friday night dinner with him, and he came to Shabbat services. And I don't know if there was a study session Sunday, it doesn't matter, but Rabbi Dresner asked me if I would adapt one of the chapters in one of Elie Wiesel's novels that he was currently writing or had just been published, and present it instead of a sermon. But he asked me to please cut it to 20 minutes. Well, the rabbi wants it for 20 minutes, that's what I did. Not realizing that Elie Wiesel was going to be in the audience. When I got into the room that we used as an auditorium, because by this time we had moved to become Moriah congregation with the basketball over the bima, I shook with fright, thinking, how do I have the chutzpah to cut his writing down to 20 minutes, that I would edit his words? It's like playing chopsticks in front of Mozart. I was frightened. After the service, Elie stood up, held his arms out to me, embraced me and said, Roz, you can read my work whenever you want. I wrote him a letter afterwards asking if I could do one of his works on WFMT. They usually marked the Shoah with a program once a year. They asked me, because I had done programs for WFMT before, if I would do some adapted works, and I suggested the Elie Wiesel night for their Shoah commemoration. He wrote me back a lovely note saying, giving me permission and complimenting my efforts. I began writing to him regularly. I would always get a handwritten note, maybe 2 or 3 lines, but invariably on time would come a handwritten note from Elie Wiesel. It was not that I was special. Elie did this for everybody who wrote to him. He always answered in his own hand. This remarkable man became my hero. I think he's probably the most remarkable Jew who has lived in modern times.